Welcome to Pause for Peace and happy Pentecost. It is May 24th, 2026 when we're releasing this podcast to you. I'm Pastor Jule, and for those of us in the Christian household, we are celebrating this day when everybody's supposed to get out their red. This is the day when we celebrate what's known as the coming of the Spirit. This is the liturgical holiday, like in the church calendar of the year. It culminates after Easter, and there's stories that point us to the Spirit, like the fiery, blazing Spirit that gets stirred up in these people who are being sent out into the world. I do not remember if I have shared before, so if I have, then please pardon me about that. But last year at this time, I actually had the experience on Memorial Day weekend, because, hey, happy Memorial Day weekend to you all as well. I was in St. Louis. I was visiting my niece, being there with my family, and in St. Louis, I discovered on Memorial Day the Basilica Cathedral of St. Louis. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is splashed with color everywhere, and there's not one bit of paint used anywhere in this amazing building. If you're in St. Louis, or if you have a chance to go to St. Louis, check out the Basilica Cathedral that is there. You will be blown away. To me, it was like, how is this even here in the United States? And has been there for the last 100 and some years. And every bit of that color is all from glass. It's all stained glass mosaic tiles. It is absolutely incredible. And being me, of course, as I was there, I was like, hey, let's cut to the chase. This place is huge. I got not that much time. So this man approached me who was the host there. And he's like, may I help you? And I was like, yes, I'm looking for any representations of Mary the Magdalene. And he's like, oh, yeah, she's very prominent here. So he took me to this amazing dome and looked up, and here is Easter morning, really. It's the scene, according to the Gospel of John, where Mary the Magdalene had gone to the tomb, discovered that it was empty, and went back and got a couple of the other folks and said, hey, the body's not there. Come see for yourself. And they went and they're like, oh yeah, she's right. The body's not there. And they leave, and she stays in the garden. And there's this glorious scene that's in beautiful mosaic tile in this Basilica Cathedral in St. Louis of Mary the Magdalene, who's fallen on her knees, and this risen one has come to her. She's actually having this interaction with the risen Christ. And she is I've talked about this all through Easter. She is recognizing the risen Christ when the risen Christ calls her name. Miriam, he says, Miriam. And she says, Rabboni. Andrew Harvey, in his latest book called The Magdalene Revolution, a beautiful book, a wonderful book, amazing spiritual teacher among us. He's just, love him, filled with joy. And he actually points out that it is this sense in which she is calling him Rabboni, which is my beloved, my beloved, my blessed beloved teacher. This is such an amazing encounter. So I see this there in the Basilica Cathedral of St. Louis a year ago, Memorial Day weekend, 2025. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm talking to this host who's showing me around, showing me how prominent Mary the Magdalene is. And I look at the other dome right behind this man, and I say, oh, she's over there as well. And he's like, oh, no, that's not Mary Magdalene. That's Mary the Mother. And I didn't argue with the man because, it's his turf. And I went and I took in that gorgeous dome, covered with this beautiful scene of Pentecost. In fact, it was a little bit funny. The man was actually telling me the story of Pentecost as if I had no idea what that was and why in the world I would think that was Mary the Magdalene. He didn't really have any understanding. And in my mind, I'm like, why in the world would you think it's Mary the Mother? I mean, the names aren't written on them, but the stories are a lot more clear that Mary Magdalene is present at this whole happening of Easter morning, and it would make a lot more sense that she who was given the word to go and tell my brothers would be the one in the circle of this like entire inflamed dome at the Basilica Cathedral in St. Louis. And there's this circle of male disciples. They're very clearly men in a circle with one woman. That's, if you're watching this video as a podcast video, you can actually see this image behind me. This whole like inflamed ceiling with this circle of these male disciples, male men, and one woman like sitting there at the top. And they're all like in prayer and in like exaltation. And it's like so much red and like so much orange and so much yellow. It's like all of the sun's colors bursting right there. The fire, representing this fire of the Spirit, representing this fire that like empowers all of us. I cannot get that image of Pentecost out of my head. And of course, my little like inner like, yeah, that's Mary Magdalene. That's not Mary the Mother. But of course, that going on in me. There's a way in which this is a time for us to celebrate this Spirit. I love the song. Fran McKendry sings it with Ann Hernandez, I believe is her name. They like recorded it years ago. You can't stop the Spirit. I've probably shared about this before too. I just come back to this song again and again on Pentecost. You can't stop the Spirit. She rolls on like a mountain going strong. Like you can't stop the Spirit. She goes on and on. That fire, you know what I'm talking about? That passion within, like we can't stop that. Okay, we can try to stop it. We can like push it down, push it out. We'll have all sorts of unhealth in our body from that. But if we truly get in touch with this fire within, we become unstoppable. Like when we are in that place of flow, we are incredibly empowered. When the Spirit is like churned up, stirred up, and working through us, there is nothing we can't do. This is such an incredible thing. Ooh, getting chill bumps even talking about it. If you're a creative, you know what I mean. If you're a runner, you know what I mean. When you get into that flow and you feel like you could run forever, it's usually in the middle of the like marathon. It's not at the beginning, it's not towards the end, but there's that time, that sweet spot when we feel like the flow is just happening. We can have this as we care for a child, as we're with a loved one. There are times when we do what we have to do and it feels arduous. There are times when we just go through the motions. There are times when we feel like we're crispy, like, we're all burned up. We can't give one more thing. That's a time I'm getting hot, even talking about like sweating, even talking about this. Those are times for us to come back to, hey, where is that divine spark? Where is that fire in me? Like what truly fires me up? What calls forth my passion? What excites me in a way that I just can't stop it? It is not the same for every one of us. And that is a good thing because every one of us has that passion in us. This is the way the Spirit manifests, if you want to use the Christian language. This is the way the Spirit manifests differently in every one of us because we are all here to be these beautiful, unique individuals that when we work together, when the flow happens in all of us, when we don't get in the way of the Spirit, and when we let that Spirit just do her magic in us and through us, all of us bring health to the world. Like all of us raise the whole vibration of the world. This is what Pentecost is all about, is letting the Spirit flow, letting her do what she wants to do in you, like letting that fire burn. I heard recently, I think it was in Spiritual Directors International annual conference, which was amazing, which was all about being the light. It was all about the light this year. And I heard in one of the lectures, I don't remember if it was by James Finley or Parker Palmer, but one of them really, two amazing elder men among us that if you do not have a chance to read their work, if you've never listened to anything they've put out there, they have podcasts, they have books, they have videos out there, like find Jim Finley, and Parker Palmer, and just take in the wisdom that comes from these beautiful men who are so grounded and so full of the Spirit. They are incredible teachers for our path. And one of them said, like, burnout happens when we're like far from the passion. Burnout happens, yeah, okay, we can never set any boundaries and we can really lose our way. But burnout happens when we're not living in the fire, when we're not letting the fire of God flow in us. Like, we can't stop it. When we do stop it, we got problems, all right? So, as we turn inward today, I want us to be listening inwardly, like maybe even getting in touch with that spirit within. You may even want to visualize that spirit, or let that spirit come to you through color. Like, let that spirit show you what color she is in your life right now. And even more so, as we move into the space of our heart, I want us to be asking, where in our lives do we need that empowerment? Where do we need to get back in touch with that passion of God that is in us? That's like given to all of us. All right, turn inward, if you will. Take a deep breath, because movement of the Spirit can happen with our breath. There are particular exercises we can do with our breath to move the Spirit more and more with us. You can learn that in yoga. You can learn that in fire breathing. I think I have a video on it in one of the podcasts early on. But today, let's turn inward into the space of our heart. We take that deep breath, we hold it, and then we release slowly. And then one more deep breath. Hold it and release slowly. I do invite you to close your eyes, turn inward, move into the space of your heart. Maybe your heart itself needs some of that fiery red passion set ablaze in it. Maybe there's something deeper in your gut. Maybe that's where this fire burns for you. Not like in heartburn, although that's an interesting thing to think about, but in this way that this fire in your gut, this fire in your belly moves you forth into the world. So turning inward, we want to get in touch with this indwelling presence of the divine, with this Holy Spirit of God that lives in us. We might need to wake her up. Maybe we haven't tuned into her enough, and it seems like the Spirit of God is far from us. But turn towards that indwelling Spirit now through the space of your heart. Let your heart mediate, be the bridge between the Spirit of God and you and the ego, the body. Just let it all come together in the space of your heart. So that you might ask the depths in you, that deep unconscious wisdom that is in you, this divine spark that is within you. Where in my life do I need empowerment? Show me, show me, show me. Where in my life do I need empowerment? Hold yourself in the space of the heart with your breath. You're setting that intention as you breathe that you are attuning to the space of your heart. You are seeking wisdom around this question: where in my life do I need empowerment? Take one more deep breath and express inwardly your gratitude. Let the indwelling presence of God know how grateful you are that she's in there, that like the Spirit of God is in you, and that the Spirit of God can burn for you, can speak to you, can be stirred up and move you out into the world. She goes with you. The Spirit of God goes with you each and every step. If you want to bring your palms together near the space of your heart, we bow together in great gratitude for these moments. As you open your eyes, you may even want to actually place your hands, if you actually felt on your body where the Spirit seemed to be getting stirred up, like maybe it was in the belly. So place your hands right there and see if you can stay attuned to that. Or if it was in the heart, place your hands on your heart. See if you can feel what this awakened spirit feels like in you. Maybe it was on your shoulders, or maybe your hands were actually like tingling and felt like they were burning. Many people have that. The hands are an extension of the shoulders and the elbows and the hands. These are all an extension of the energy space of the heart. So it makes sense. Healers use their hands to bring about healing. So our hands can get all fiery, can get hot, can get cold as we are like getting in touch with this energy of the Spirit within. I hope it will like fill you and carry you all throughout the week. I hope that what you have noticed in like what's been revealed to you in the time of stillness about where in your life you need empowerment, I hope that you will take the next steps all through this week to bring that into, like bring that fire of the Spirit into those places so that you are empowered to go about and do the impossible because the Spirit of God is stirred up and is empowering you. Have a fabulous week. Have a fabulous week and wear some red this week. Have a great one, and I'll see you next time on Pause for Peace.